One of the best things you can do to avoid being caught red-handed is to, if you're going to do something that might be viewed as wrong, maybe don't sit in the location where the right thing should have been done. The delivery driver here was supposed to deliver food to a customer at this apartment complex. They failed to do so. They decided to sit in their car in the apartment complex parking lot and eat the food of the customer. There's two sides to every story, but the way that I see this whole thing working out is it kind of seems like he was hungry and just didn't make the effort enough to try and get the food to the customer. Take a look.
You didn't do a goddamn thing. I just called you. I just screen recorded the whole thing too because I was gonna make a complaint. So instead of you bringing me my food or answering the phone, you decided just to keep it and eat it.
This dude looks speechless. Like he's a man of few words, but he's like, oh my god, I've been caught with my pants down. Oh my god. Talk about embarrassing. I would turn bright red if I was caught in a situation like this. And this guy, he's obviously like speechless. He can't even believe he's being confronted with this. Because again, maybe to his knowledge, he made the best effort to deliver the food. And so, you know, when you can't make contact with the customer, especially if it's not a leave at the door, you're pretty much given permission. The food's yours. If you can't deliver it to the customer, it is what it is. Customer will just have to call back. They'll get their refund most of the time. So it is what it is. However, again, why would you sit in the parking lot of said customer and eat the food? You would think you'd at least relocate at that point.
Eat my food. The one that's open too. I want my drink. I want all that.
You know what, bitch? Give me that pine cone too for the inconvenience. Maybe then I can consider this whole deal square. Pine cone or I'm reporting you and you're getting deactivated, bitch. You know, honestly, if this was a guy that was doing the right thing, I think what would have realistically happened here, and if I was in this scenario, and let's just say I made all the effort I could to deliver it, I'd say no. I'm not giving you the food now. It was a failed delivery and you're gonna get refunded for it, so you could try to order again. I can't give you the food. I already started eating it. Like, that's entirely against health code violation. No, I don't want to be held liable if you get sick or anything like that. You can't have the food. Sorry this happened, but no, you can't have the food. Well, the fact that he just hands it over right away, it just, I don't know, it speaks a lot of guilt.
I did try to look for you.
No, you didn't.
I did.
I screen recorded the whole thing, sir. I have it, me calling you, me texting you. I screenshot it and screen recorded the whole thing. So instead of you coming to bring my food, and I gave you clear directions. I wrote it in English. I wrote it in Spanish. I'm sorry, maybe I should have wrote it in German too. I wrote it in clear directions. And instead of you responding to any of that, because even if you had an issue, I said I would just meet you in the front. You didn't have to look for me. I said I would meet you right here in the front. So if you wanted food, you was just there. Why didn't you just order your own food? You was just there. Why didn't you just order your own food? If that's all it was and you just wanted the food.
I was trying to find you. I know you don't think I was, but I was walking.
So why didn't you respond to any of the messages?
No, I was overwhelmed by messages. I usually get that many.
So he admits that he did get messages, he was just overwhelmed by them. You know, when you can't find a delivery, you either text them, and if texting them isn't working, or maybe that's not your preferred method of communication, you could try calling them. DoorDash, Uber Eats, they all give you the ability to call the customer. And at that point, if the customer didn't pick up and then you were having troubles, then you could say you made a really fair effort, really fair attempt, and that's why you decided to eat their food. To not even call, to not respond to her messages, no. No, you did not make the full effort. You just, it's like you half-assed it. I almost wonder if you were hungry to begin with. So the second you realized you were confused, it was easier just to say, oh shit, nope, can't deliver it.
If you're lost, why didn't you try to contact me so I can help you find it?
Yeah, I was just trying to find the place.
How was you trying? In what way were you trying?
Me over there.
Because I just rode around here. I left my house and I'm like, okay, I'll meet you in the front. I know it's hard to find places over here. I just rode around in circles. I haven't even seen this car, so you were just parked eating my food. You haven't even made it up the complex, and you're already sitting here eating my food.
That is probably the rookiest of mistakes for any food thief. Like, honestly, leave the premises. Find another parking lot somewhere else. Like, I'm not encouraging anybody to steal food, but I am just saying that there are smarter ways to go about that. And if you can't be a smart thief, you probably shouldn't be a thief at all.
So when were you trying to find me? You haven't made it out the complex, and you're sitting right here eating my food. It's not even like you made it anywhere yet. We're still in the complex.
What's the point of this?
Because you pissed me off. You pissed me off. You just wasted my time, and you pissed me off. And I'm going to send this to fucking Uber Eats and whoever.
And that's probably an automatic deactivation right there. Unless he can actually prove his case, I don't think this is going to go over well for him. And this guy, Table Moments Pod, he makes a TikTok stitch to kind of explain why this guy could have actually been in the right. And what he says is actually very smart. I do, however, still think that judging based off the scenario and based off the fact that this driver didn't appear to have tried to call or actually respond to any of the messages, that I still think the driver is at fault. But it is worth looking at both sides, so take a look.
This guy looks like an asshole, but here's what really happened. As a driver, you deliver it, but they have to be ready to pick it up, especially if it's an apartment complex where it's hard to get to or find the apartment. You end up making a call. It's like, yo, your food's here. She's actually not ready to pick up the food. Maybe she was busy doing other things. Then he contacts delivery service for assistance. And then they try contacting her too. They'll ask him to wait 15 to 20 minutes. You're just waiting. And in this time, he can't pick up any other orders because he hasn't completed this one. So he's losing money from his shift that day. Once the service can't contact her, you can go start picking up other orders. You ask him, what do I do with the food? And like, you keep it. And I've had that happen to me before. Try to deliver it, contacted Grubhub. Yo, help me out. I'm losing money right now by just sitting here. That's like losing $10 for that hour. Grubhub tells me, you know what, you can just go. And I'm like, what do I do with the food? They're like, it's yours. And then after I left, the guy calls me. I'm ready to pick up. I'm like, too late. So don't be late with your pickups, guys.
Okay, so again, what I said, he does bring up a very good point. That is the process when you can't deliver the food. However, the fact that this guy just doesn't seem like he actually made all that much effort, I do still think he's kind of in fire about this whole thing. But hey, you know what? That's up to the delivery company to decide whether or not they're going to deactivate his account for it. I mean, I guess they would be able to see if he actually made that honest effort or not, but it doesn't sit right with me. Something about arriving to the apartment complex and then eating the food in the apartment complex almost makes me wonder if he just never intended to deliver it in the first place, but because the delivery app tracks your location, if you get close to the location, it'll at least be like, okay, so you must have actually made the attempt to deliver. So it's not like he could have just picked up the food. If he was trying to go about it smart, because you can always cancel a delivery after you get it, but you're going to get dinged for that. So if he was trying to be smart about keeping the food, yeah, he would have at least driven to the location. But what he should have done if he is a thief is he should have been smarter about it and left the apartment complex. So it's hard to say either way, but yeah, to all drivers out there, make the honest freaking effort to deliver the food and don't sit in the apartment complex parking lot eating the food. I mean, come on, people. And that's about it for today. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.